So for tonight we'll use, I'd probably bring in your dumbbells if you've got them just ready. We'll probably do a little bit on dumbbells. I think I'll work a little bit on triceps, and shall we use something else? So last week on Thursday we used loop band. Tonight what we could do is also, if we take the long band as well, so if we bring that into the equation, if you have it, but if you don't, that's fine. I'll probably only use it for a couple of exercises, so if you don't have a long band, it won't matter either. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to start with wide legs, wide feet. And we're just going to slowly come down into a knee bend and then come back up again. So it's just a slow one, especially if you can feel the knees disagreeing a little bit and not wanting to bend. Yes. So we're putting in slightly through the abdominals. And then we're going to bend the knees and just come sort of hold that bend, take the arms out, bring one over, the other one's on your thigh, so we've got to stretch and then lift it. No, don't lift the knees, sorry. And then take it over to the other side. And then bring it up. And then straighten the legs. And then bend the knees again. So last one. Bring the feet in. Then we're going to take the arms out in front, taking the shoulders forwards and back to begin with. So this one's forwards and back, then bring the arms down, and I'll do this from behind. So then you're going to take the right arm out to the side. You're going to squeeze that, oh, I can really feel that. Shoulder blade squeezed away and then squeeze it back in. So the arm staying the hand staying in line with your shoulder. But this is really helping with regard to mobilisation. Let's just make this our last one. Bring the arm down. Take the other arm out to the side. Just get a feel for it first, because it's not kind of moving the body, it's literally squeezing that shoulder away from you, shoulder blade, and then squeezing it back in. Last one. Bring the arms down, roll the shoulders. Okay, so we'll keep on upper body. We're going to take the hands together, stretch the fingers, and just start off that nice, just long stretch to begin with. Then take it up, take it out to the side, and then forwards again, stretching out, and take it up and out. Squeeze the shoulders up and release them. Then we'll go on to our arms out in front, little twist behind. Last one. Bringing the arms down. Okay, so you can probably feel that in your shoulders. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take, see if I've got space here, take the left arm, the left leg forwards. So you've got just the knee bent at the front and sort of slightly bent at the back. We're going to take the arms out to the side, and then with the left arm we're just going to take it around. You're still facing forwards, but we're just bringing the left arm across, the right arm behind, pulling in through the abdominals, then bringing it back to the side, bring the arms down. Now the right arm just comes up, stretching up, so you're going to feel stretch down the front of the body. Again, pulling in through the abdominals, you can feel a stretch down the right front of the leg in the hip flexors. Then bring that arm down and then take it up. So just walk it out for a second. A nice stretch. And then take the left leg back now. Right leg forwards. Come over a little bit and take the arms back out. This time, I'll remember this, take the right arm forwards and the left arm back. So really stretch, think about that shoulder here, stretch that forwards a little bit more. Then take the arms back out to the side, and then the left arm stretches up. And you can get a stretch down the front into the hip flexors of the left side. And then bring that down and bring it back to the front. Brilliant. Okay, something a little bit different. That's more of a yoga stretch. Then we're going to push the bottom behind you, bring the hands down just above the knees, and now let's just stretch, pushing that bottom behind. So I can see I've got a nice flat back. You've all got flat backs. And then think about rounding it slightly, lifting and then pushing it away again, push that bottom behind you. So again, nice flat back, but stretching. You feel the stretch in the lower back, the abdominals and the shoulders. And then again, just lift, round the back, and then just coming up slowly. Roll shoulders. Just a second. I can't do it because my phone's being used for recording. My heating comes back on again. It's so noisy. The pipes. Okay, so a little bit of stretching to start with, which is quite nice. Now we're going to take the feet about shoulder width apart, and I'm going to use my blocks to put underneath the heels, just so I can get into a squat that's a little bit deeper. But you don't have to do that, you can do it actually just on the edge of the mat, whatever is good for you. Because I've got the wall behind me, don't want to push into the wall. Okay, so we're pulling in through the abdominals, we're going to come down and then come back up again, and down and up. So let's keep, it does really help if you keep the knees squeezed out to the side. You'll feel it a bit more into the glutes. And you can start to go a little bit deeper if your knees will allow you, and your back and your glutes. I'm going to go a little bit quicker now, just to make it a bit more dynamic, if that feels okay. So as I come back up, I can kind of feel I'm pulling in through the abs. I'm bringing those hips forwards. We're getting into a routine now. Okay, last one that will come down. Just squeeze those knees out a little bit and just hold that position. And then gradually, slowly coming back up again. Shake those legs. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring the weight in, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the, let's say it's the left leg forwards, right leg back, a bit like we did just now, but we're going to lean on this left thigh, not on the knee, and we're going to really come down quite low, so your bottom's pushing behind you, the arm is behind, elbow behind, and then we're going to just lift and then lower, and I might just change that position so it's more like a hammer curl, so you don't knock yourself with the weight. So the lower you go, the more resistance, so the more effective that work is. That's why it's quite good if you have a chair or something, you just put your hand on the chair. Okay, then we're going to bring that arm down and then bring the elbow up. Just let the arm straighten as low as it will go and squeeze up. So for this sort of thing, it's probably like in strength training, you can use heavier weights. So if you have them, which is what I'm intending to get some more weights and actually go heavier, because muscle burns fat and we need to build muscle in our older age, and not just for burning fat, just also for bone health. Last one. And you just don't want your muscles to waste away. So it's a great way of building muscle. Okay, let's try it on the other side. So right leg forward this time. Let's bend that knee first. Let's just get a good position. Down as low as you can. Bring that elbow back first. I'm going to go into that hammer position and then take it behind so that arm straightens. You can feel the difference. Even if you've got just a tin of something, but definitely if you go down somewhere like Aldi or Lidl, they've often got weights, little dumbbells there, or just off Amazon. I can always give you recommendations off Amazon. Okay, last one. Then we're just going to let that arm hang down, and now we're just going to bring that elbow up. So we don't want to move the body, keep the body in that same position. It's actually working quite hard on that right glute area as well. Last one. Then just straighten that leg, bring the legs forwards and give it a shake. So yeah, that feels good. So just the triceps. Then what we'll do now, we're doing quite a lot of shoulders, aren't we, at the moment? So we'll do a bit more shoulders and then we'll go on to lower body and then come down. So we've got our band if you want to use it. Elbows come in and then roll the shoulders down your back first, and then you know what you're doing now. You've got your dumb waiter. So I want you to feel the shoulder blades, just that little squeeze towards each other. And now I'm going to get you to do 1, 2, 3, pulse. So it just gives you that little extra concentration on that area. I've lost count now, but I think we'll do 2 more. Can you feel a bit of cracking going on? I can. I'm sure you probably can, some of you. Okay, and then I'll tell you what we'll do. Because we've just done triceps, the one where you take it behind, hold on, and then just stretching up. It's a tricep one, but it kind of does a bit of an extension. So it's a nice stretch, I always feel. Keeping that elbow out in front of you. We'll do one more. Bring that arm down. This is always the funny bit when you're in a class, because people say, oh, I can't work out how to do it the other side. It's quite funny. It's funny how you can do something one side and then trying to work out the other side is quite difficult. So keeping that elbow forwards. Okay, last one. Bring that down. Lovely. Okay, so let's put that down. Now, what I was thinking, we'll do some, okay, two things. So just to raise the heart rate a little bit, just to keep us warm. So we're going to bend the knees, push that bottom behind you, as you know we need to do, and then we're just going to take that leg out, so it's that little bit of work. So if you want to, you could bring the elbow, and you could take your weights now if you want to, so you can get started, and you could take a weight. Let's do this one. So it's more really not so much about the upper body, but it's more about the lower body. So what we're doing is we're putting all the weight into that standing leg. And it will start to feel quite pressurised, but it's good. Right, okay, two more. And then standing up, shake those legs. I've done this especially for you, Peter, because I know you love this one. Okay, back down into your position. And then taking that leg out and back. So it's just a little tap, and it's a very small movement from the upper body. Don't fling it out like I just did then. The arm. And actually, if you want to really concentrate, just stay with the arms in together, hands together. Ooh. Let's do 3, 2, 1. Straighten up. So at least you feel like you've done something. Plus the heart rate's just sped up quite a bit. Whew. Right. So, actually, we'll have a little rest before we do the next one. So we'll do, let's just do neck, head and neck. So take the hands behind your head. We've got our little squeeze into your palms. Squeeze and release. Last one. How does that feel? I would say it's a bit of a release, isn't it? Okay, so take the head over to one side, relaxing the shoulders if you can. Back into the middle and over to the other side. And then back into the middle. Then taking the hands behind. And we're just going to lift and stretch them away. This is a very nice shoulder and chest stretch. Now release. And then we'll do this without the weights, I think. We're just going to lift a knee and then tap back. So we can take the arms forward if you want. But what I'm looking for is keeping the rest of the body. So rather than kind of moving the hips, I want the hips back and staying in that position. So draw the arms in if you can as the knee comes in, or just leave the arms out of the equation. It's fine. Again, it's really working the glutes on the standing leg. The glute medius muscle, last one. Good, okay. Shake the legs. Shake the legs, and then just this one now. So changing over to the other side. Lean forward slightly, actually, that's probably the best thing to do. You can keep that position. Nothing's changing in my back, even my hips, pretty much staying in the same position unless I lose my balance. Plus my abdominals are working quite strongly. I think we'll do one more and then come in. Well done. That's probably warmed you up a bit anyway. Now we're going to be too hot until we get down on the floor, and then we'll cool down. Okay, I'll tell you what we do. I'll just do another stretch I've just thought of. We're just going to go from side to side, so it's our inner thigh stretch. So we're kind of leaning, you're looking forwards, but you're sticking your bottom behind. Okay, last one. Bring the feet in. Righty-ho. I think that's good. I think we're done. We're done and dusted. Okay, so let's come down to our mats. So you can bring your band down with you. Nothing there. Okay, how does that? Right. Yeah, you can bring your dumbbells as well. So if you like to use them for some of the exercises. So yeah, we're starting in all fours position first. And what we're going to do is we're going to do that, what we call it, the thread the needle. So you're going to come back slightly and you're going to bring the arm through. So what we're trying to do is get stretch into that shoulder, and then you're going to come back up again, take it through the other side, bring that sort of elbow to the floor if you can, depends on flexibility, and bring that shoulder and that arm across. So you're almost coming into a kind of a shell stretch really, because otherwise if you stay in that position, you're staying too high, you're not going to get the stretch. So we've got a couple more of those. So I'd shoulder. We've done quite a bit of shoulder work today. That's good. So after this one, feel free to come down into a shell stretch so we can stretch the shoulders and the lower back. Excellent, okay. And then we're going to come back up. And what we'll do now, we'll do our the doggy one. So you take your knee out to the side, stay on that same side. I find this one quite difficult, probably because it's the restriction when you take that knee out. You can't go very far without pushing the body over to the other side too much. Let's just do one more, and then we'll try it on the other side. Of course, one side's going to be easier than the other, so let's take it slowly and carefully. Last one, and then we'll come down into a shell stretch. And then come back up. This time, I'll tell you what, we'll have a little break off the wrists. Let's come down onto our elbows. It's quite nice just to have a little break and then go back to it. So hands come down a bit lower, and then we're going to point, flex and straighten. So the back can come quite low. I mean, if you can go up higher, that's good because you get a better stretch, but just be careful with your back. So you work out what works for you. Squeeze those shoulders down as well, because I could just feel my shoulders were sticking up towards my ears. So really think about that. That could be happening to you. And then just bring both legs down. Then we'll come up into just our elbows, and we'll work on our half planks. So we'll keeping the knees down, just tucking the toes under. We're going to lift off with the tummy first, squeeze the shoulders down, now lift. Now my elbows are slightly further forward from the shoulders, not too much, but we're just lifting up through the belly. Keep the shoulders squeezing down. Breathing in and breathing out, putting up through the abdominals as you breathe outwards. Our normal Pilates breath. As you breathe out, you're just lifting that little bit more. And then let's prepare to come down. So this is really working the transversus abdominis, so your inner, deeper abdominal area. And let's just bring the arms down again, so we just get a bit of rest on the shoulders. And let's just, while we're there, we'll just do a couple more of these leg lifts, so our quad stretch. Last one. And then we're going to take the arms out to the side, so the elbows are behind you, hands on the mat. We're going to lift the body, come back, just do a little stretch, and then we're going to come forwards, hands flat down on the mat. We're just hovering the chest, and we're going to bend the elbows to bring you down. So we're working the shoulders and the triceps. Now we're going to lift again. I've got my abs really controlled and really, contracting as I lift up, and they're still contracting a little bit. They're going to contract now to stop my back from dipping all the way down. And now think of the abs lifted as you lift the body. Quite a good controlled movement, and then just hold into that stretch. And then we'll come back up to all fours now. Actually, let's just sit back for a second. And I can feel it in my shoulders and I can feel it in my wrists, but we have done quite a bit already in the shoulders. Okay, so this time what we'll do is some glute work. So what we're going to do, let's think about, we could stretch the leg, we could do a lift and then a knee in. We haven't done that before, have we? We usually do it a different way with the knee bent. So the knee comes in, so that's abs, stretching out, squeeze. Now let's do 3 pulses and then 1 knee in, stretch it out, 3 pulses with a straight leg. So I don't want to see your back moving. I mean, you can move when you bring it in. When you stretch that leg away, I want to see your bottom pulsing. So my back staying in the same position as when that leg's straight out behind me and squeezing into my bottom. The other side's taking the weight. Last one. Bring that knee down. Let's just take the weight off. You can sit up or stretch, up to you. Feeling it tonight? Are you feeling it tonight? Okay. So it's same for the other side. So stretching the leg away. 1, 2, 3. Bring the knee in. Stretch out. 1, 2, 3. The great thing is working the abdominals as well as your glutes. This is your last one. Bring the knees in and then just come back all seated. Give them a little shuffle the shoulders. Okay, so we'll do one more in all fours position. So last one for your wrists now, or on your wrists as it were, which will actually be a bit more abdominal work. So this time I'm going to tuck the toes under. Do you remember this one? Knees going to come in slightly closer, or bring the hands in slightly closer, I would. Now tuck under here in your abdominals first. So you might round the back a little bit, but then lift the knee, just knees very slightly, and then release. You can use your blocks actually, let's just see if that helps with the wrists. Putting in through the abs, really lifting, and then lift the knees. And lower. So you can hold that position for as long as you feel comfortable with. Push yourself a bit. And we'll do 2 more, if you can. Keep breathing, and then once you've done them, just feel free to come down into your shell stretch. Nice, it feels so nice in the lower back. So shoulders, let's take the arms over to the left, stretching that right arm a little bit more, so we've just got that extra stretch down the right hand side of the body. I could stay here for ages. Then back into the middle. over to the right side, stretching that left arm. And into the middle, and come up slowly. Right, so we're done with back work, with the all fours. So we'll come on to our backs next. And we'll take our long band and roll back down. Okay. So first of all, we'll just work with our stretch. So you could use your weights if you want to. Chin is slightly tucked. Stretch away. Okay, so we're back to crib position, and what we'll do is we'll take our long band and we'll do some leg circles. So I tend to cross over the band actually, so it just keeps it a bit more secure. And then let's change direction. And then we'll just bring that leg up. So we're going to point and flex, oops, just to work into the calves and the hamstrings. Good, okay. Then we bring the other leg up, swap it over. And then change direction. Keeping the hips stable. And then we're going to bring that leg up for a stretch. So always bend the other knee. Just get a better stretch. We're going to point and flex. Oh, you can feel that when you flex. Okay, last one. Bring the knee in. So we've done a bit of hamstring stretch. Actually, it's quite nice then to do a little bit of work in bridge and shoulder bridge, because that just sometimes is helpful with regard to the hamstrings being a little bit stretched, a little bit more flexible. So we're going to squeeze your bottom, going to lift off, keep the back relaxed, just squeeze into the glutes, so only lift as far as the glutes will take you. Now we're going to roll back down through the vertebrae. And then we're going to squeeze, lifting back up again. This time we're going to lift the heels, then we're going to lift the toes, if you can, then the heels. So be careful, calves don't go into cramp, although they are a bit stretched now, so. Okay, then bring the feet back down. Squeeze the bottom a little bit more, so you just lift that little slightly bit more, and then just roll back down through the vertebrae. We're going to stretch each leg. And then this time we'll go back up into bridge position. Let's lift one leg, and we're going to just tap down twice, and then bring that leg down. Make sure your hips are still lifted. Lift the other side, tap it, lift, keep those hips lifted. Bring both feet down, and then roll back down through the vertebrae. Good. Stretch the legs. Bring the arms behind, and let's go into doing our roll-ups. So we're going to roll up and down. So we're going to come back into our crook position. So we'll do, let's do 4, really nicely controlled. Utilising your breath. Use that block onto your back if you need to. It makes a massive difference. So I'm going to come all the way back down again. I'm going to bend the knees. We're going to lift into tabletop position, and we're going to just go for our toe taps. Breath outwards as you tap down. So still working those abs. After this one, we're going to bring the knees into the chest. Then we'll leave one knee in, straighten the other leg, and then into our single leg stretch, lifted with the head or not, up to you. Last one. Bring the knees in, and then straight out into double leg stretch. Okay, last one. Again, really working those abs strongly. Then just bring the arms in, little roll from side to side. Let's just bring the feet down to the floor, and then with your weights, if you want, you could take the arms up towards the ceiling, and we again just keep those abs contracted, keep the back in the same place, and then bring the arms back up. So probably feeling the abs have worked quite a lot just in those last two exercises, as well as the roll up and roll down, etc. But we're still utilising them. Last one. Bring the arms down by your side. And you're going to bring the legs up, just cross them over. What we're going to do now is, not cross them over. We're not going to do what we normally do. We're going to just bring the leg in, so we've got a bit of a stretch. If you can lift, then fine. If not, just bring that leg in, so you're getting a stretch into the backs of the legs. Last one. Just come down, bring the knees back in. And then the feet are going to stay together. The knees will come out to the side, and then you're just going to stretch away and then come back in again. And again, this one could be done with the head lifted. And we really focus on the breathing out as you stretch away. Last one. Bring it back in. Let's just hold that for a few seconds. Okay, bring the feet down to the floor. Then we're going to, I'm trying to think, I know what we're going to do. We're going to bring the knees back into the chest. We're going to roll up into seated. And just before we finish, cheeky little laugh, we're going to do some rolling like a ball. So we're going to really sort of bring the body in. So we've got a nice rounded spine. It's fun. Just a couple more if it feels good. I know some people hate it. You either love it or you hate it. And then what should we do? Let's come all the way down, however you want to. And then we'll just take the left leg over the right. And we're going to draw that leg in. And release. Change it over to the other side, and then draw the leg in, just encouraging that knee away from you. And release. So now we've got the nice bit, we just take the arms out to the side and just a hip roll over to one side, back into the middle, over to the other side. And you can stretch, you can sort of make it so that the head and neck go over to the opposite side to the knees, so you get a bit more of a stretch. And don't take the knees too far down if that doesn't feel comfortable on your back. And then bring the knees back up into the middle. And then we're going to bring them in towards the chest if you want to do a roll up to seated. Alright, I'm going to cross my legs. So just a little stretch forwards. So I always think about lifting first and then just coming forwards. So you can get the stretch, sort of, you can feel that in your thighs, in your glutes as well. Just about everywhere, really. And then just push yourself just slightly so you start to lift, and then really sort of stretch up through the spine. And then taking the arms out to the side. Take a breath in. And out, and in again, and out. Wonderful. Thank you. Happy Tuesday evening, everybody, and see some of you on Thursday. If not, next week. Click, crack.